Hi, my name is Brian Wagner, and this is going to be the second talk, a People's Dharma talk. I was going to talk about contemplation today, but I had some people, we got in a conversation, and perhaps this might be a better topic. That part of us that knows there's something genuine, the thing we wake up to one day, we're like, there's got to be something more to this than meets the eye. And generally what we do is we end up going on a spiritual search, which basically means we start looking at ourselves and we're wondering, how this works, how what's running this, what's going on. And today I'd like to share that probably the most precise method for doing that for me was to start removing those things from my life that seemed like artificial or put together or conditioned, those things that seemed artificial, and start putting those, not getting rid of them or taking them off me entirely, moving them over so that I was aware of those things. And the more we do that, the more the genuine self seems to appear, and the more the genuine self is here, then is allowed to respond instead of just react to things. So I found myself becoming less reactive. In part, that's because there's less to defend. All these things that I think I am, all these things that I feel I have to defend or I have to give some sort of status to, in general, they stop being that important, which allows a lot more time for me to generally take a look at how I'm responding to things. Where does my passion lie? Where's my heart? So we can seek outside ourselves and add on to us, and that's one way to do the journey. And the other way is just to start removing things. You just start letting go of those things that don't really carry any weight. And a lot of it has to do with the way we're conditioned and brought up in life. So there's a few people I'd like to talk about. One is there's nothing wrong with your retreat. Living Compassion and Sherry Huber. If you need to start someplace, I think that is a tremendous place to start. At the end of this, I'm going to put a sign up that'll have the contact information for all these people. But I've done the retreat. I think that, it's their specialty. It's what they do. It's that whole thing about the conditioned ego and what's going on with it and what's your relationship with it and what's your true relationship with the world. So Sherry Huber's number one. So I get this right. A book called Critical Thinking, Tools for Taking Charge of Your Learning and Your Life by Linda Elder and Richard Paul. This is a great book to read. And you take a look at it and you start realizing, wow, all this conditioning things, all these things that my culture and my society has embedded in me, and how much of this is really me. What do I actually believe in? Not what have I been taught to believe in, but what are my true beliefs? So this is a tremendous perspective. The third book, and a man that I dearly love, is Nisargadatta, a book called I Am That. It was a real eye-opener for me. It really gave me a much better perspective on what it's like to start letting go, until what's left? If you let go of everything, what's left? What's the agency? So I think these three separate things are tremendous. I would start, with Sherry Huber, and I would start with the There's Nothing Wrong with You book. The book is great. Retreat is just dynamite because you're being involved with other people. So that would be, those are my opinions about this. And I'd love to hear what your opinions are and how you view your own spiritual journey and maybe some of the tools you use. So there's going to be a second part of this. Peanut says hi again. The second part of this is this. And I have a real need to say this. Last week I was in a conversation with some people, and they seemed really distraught about their own spiritual journey. So my advice, never give up. Just keep going. Because you're taking you and you're taking your spirituality and you're starting to put it together. So it comes together in the middle, and it's going to form sort of a different entity. And that's something that may happen overnight. It may never happen, but the journey's beautiful. And you're doing it because you want to. If you're doing it because you think you're going to get something out of it, then we're trying to create a bargain. We're going to the market, we're going to pay in whatever monetary or philosophical or emotional, intellectual, whatever payment we have to make, and then we think we're going to get something back from it. So we don't want to do that. We want to just do this because we love it. We love that search for our own spiritual being. Never give up. When it feels like everything's crashing and you're asking yourself, why am I doing this? What is the point behind all this? All I can encourage you is that you're getting real close when you get to the point where your conditioning's fighting the whole thing to the point it's going, yeah, give up. Yeah, just let it go. It doesn't make any difference anyway. Keep going. Always keep going. So I thank you very much for watching, and I'll give you some information at the end of this, where to get a hold of the 3 specific areas I talked about, and how to get a hold of me. I love doing talks. I do it on donation basis. I love talking about this stuff, as you can tell. It's a real passion of mine. My heart is really in this. So be well. Keep going. If you're working on this, and you probably are if you're watching this, just keep going. Don't listen to the voices. Don't listen to other people. And, let the discouragement fly by, because it's going to be like everything else. It'll pass. Things rise and things fall. Things come and things go. But your dedication to this and the fact that you're on this journey is just tremendous. So, get a hold of me. And our probably the next tape is going to be on contemplation, because I think that's the other half of having a practice that says I want to meditate, to be able to contemplate things. That specific one-pointed contemplation is really important. All right, guys, before I forget, I wanted to throw this in at the end. Usually I ask people to take a look at some things. No matter what you do at the end of this, there's going to be some information that will come up. Some of it's about me, some of it's about some of the resources for what I talked about today. But the most important thing is Living Compassion has something called the Africa Vulnerable Children's Project, and I thoroughly support it. I know the people that are working on it. So there's going to be a tie to a website at the end of this, and you just cut and paste. The other thing is Starry Skies Equine Rescue and Sanctuary, where I volunteer. They're a great group of people. They need all the support they can get. So I threw up another cut and paste. If you go to their website and take a look at what they're all about. If you live in the Detroit area and you want to volunteer there, they can use your help. They can use all your financial support. So those 2 things are like really close to my heart, and I'm doing everything I can to support them. So, and Peanut too, she loves to support all the 4-legged guys out there. All right. Be well. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you in the 3rd installment of this, all right? Be safe.